Hey guys, it's Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, pass it on to somebody else who might like it too, and drop us a positive comment in the comment section. Also, if you want, please stick around to the end of the video because I have two of my favorite comments from previous videos to read out. Also, if you would like to get a reading done, please email me. If you would like to become one of my patrons on Patreon, the information is underneath this video. And patrons are greatly appreciated because basically what happens is you sign up to be a patron and you get all of the little freebies and, early releases and any kind of things that I put on Patreon. And every week or two, I put something on Patreon, especially for my patrons, and I don't put it on YouTube. And some things I put on YouTube later, depending upon what it is. So Patreon is really cool. So check out that link underneath this video. Also, if you would like to check out my merchandise, I have some of the coolest Ask an Aquarius merchandise. T-shirts and pillows and mugs and all kinds of cool stuff. I have one of the pillows behind me I'm always sitting on one of the pillows, as a matter of fact. I love this pillow. So check it out. Now, I wanted to talk to you guys about something that happened last week. This is like so stupid. And I just wanted to tell you guys about it because it irked me. It irked me deep. And I was just like, at first I ignored it, then it irked me. Let me tell you what happened. All right, so last week I was sitting in my favorite Instagram live crystal sale. My favorite one is called Temple of Abundance. And they do live sales Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, depending upon what's going on that week, but usually those 4 days. So I'm sitting in my favorite sale, and I have two other ones that I frequent. I told you guys about before. I frequent the Secret Earth Crystals, just to give them a shout out. And I also frequent the Crystal and Jewelry Emporium. Give them a shout out because I get a lot of stuff from them and I love their customer service is on point. But the Temple of Abundance is special to me. I spend a lot of time there talking and laughing and all that kind of thing. The other ones I just kind of buy stuff and leave, But this one I do a lot of talking there. And we were all sitting there talking, and one of the things that happens in the live sale is before or during the time that the owner is doing the sale, she does a candle blessing. It's very simple. She takes a candle, she puts it out with the crystals, or either a fake candle, the LED candles, or a real candle. And anybody who wants someone to be prayed for or sent positive energy can put a name underneath the candle. And she writes it on a piece of paper and puts it under the candle. So we're all sitting there last week and we're, about to buy some crystals, and two somebodies actually came into the room, and it was like 40, 50 of us. And one of the people said, "Can you please put the moon and the fae under the candle?" So the moon obviously is the moon, and the fae are the fairies. Certain traditions work with different energies, certain magical traditions. And like for instance, some it depends, it's mostly is European traditions. They work with the fae, some of them. And they work with the fae, they work with angels, they work with different gods and goddesses, but certain ones do work with the fae and have worked with the fae all the way back since the beginning of time. So the fae are fairies. Some people believe in what they call fairy magic. And in some traditions, this is a very sacred part. The fae is a very sacred part of their tradition. Different, spiritual systems use different energies, angels, the fae, animals, different things. So some of the traditions have the fae, it's sacred to them, going all the way back for generations. So I was like, the moon and the fae. Why would we pray for the moon and the fae? The moon and the fae are like, you don't usually pray for them. You usually pray. That's like saying pray for God, or pray for, And some people pray to God. Some people pray to Goddess. Some people pray to the saints, the Orisha even. But very few people pray for them. That's not usually how it works, because they are the supreme celestial beings. So I was like, pray for the faith for what? I thought that was just a really strange comment. So she said the TikTok, apparently TikTok or an offshoot of TikTok or something like that, has what they call baby witches. Baby witches are witches who basically have just started getting into some form of witchcraft, some form, any of the forms really. They've just started, or they haven't just started and just don't know that much. That's why they call them babies, because they haven't quite learned to walk and crawl and that kind of thing. So they said to me, the baby TikTok witches curse the moon and the fae. Now, the only reason why I'm telling you guys this is because a lot of people inboxed me and was like, yo, Queen, what's up? I heard that the witches done cursed the moon. Like, is it going to fall in the sky? What's the deal? Like, people were kind of like confused. Like, that doesn't even sound right. And when the girl first said it, I'm going to be honest with you, I ignored her. I laughed about it and I ignored her. I was like, man, whatever. I just kind of blew it off. That's like somebody saying, yeah, somebody cursed God. Go pray for God. It's like, gotta be all right. Whatever. I completely ignored it. I thought it was the dumbest shit I'd ever heard in my life. And then the young lady went on to say that some of the TikTok witches who performed this hex were dead. So they died. The moon killed them, or the fae murdered them or something for hexing them. And I was like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. And I just wanted to say that to you guys because I didn't want you to really think that this was serious at all, because so many people were talking about it. It was trending on Twitter. And I was like, people are really talking about this. Let me mention this. And I just wanted to say, first of all, these are not witches. I don't know what they are. I don't know what they call themselves. I don't care what they call themselves. They're not witches. Because anybody who's a witch, a priestess, a shaman, a magic worker, almost all of us, 80% of us, maybe more, work with the moon. We have a respect for the moon. Some of us have a deep reverence and a sacred bond with the moon. I often wear things with the moon on them. And the bottom line is because the moon is a source of energy, the moon and the sun. But witches have a tendency, and magic workers of all kind have a tendency to work with the moon, because a lot of this magic, a lot of this spirituality was done at night. Remember, there was a lot of persecution. There was a lot of groups, mainly, groups like Christian groups, mainly Christian groups, that were persecuting the witch hunts. The witch hunts was no joke. They were persecuting people who practiced any kind of magic or any kind of spirituality that wasn't what the church said is okay. If you did anything, you could be declared a heretic and hung. Just for something that's not even that deep. Like, picking some herbs out in the forest and using them to make a salve was enough. If somebody saw you doing it, that was enough for you to be hung. So for a lot of our traditions, it was done in secret. Even with the Native Americans, before the colonial days, of course, they were able to do whatever they wanted to do. Their medicine men, their medicine women could do whatever they wanted to do in relative peace, because it was, their spiritual systems, and they did what they did. Different groups did different things, but a lot of it had to do with honoring the earth. Now, after coming into colonialism, after the colonists came to the Americas, Your spiritual practices were not accepted. They were not accepted unless you were what they told you to be, which basically was Christian. You had to accept the Bible. So if you did not accept the Bible, if you did not worship from the Bible, then you were a heretic, or worse, a heathen or worse. And you could be subject to murder, basically. So many of these traditions from many different cultures were done in secret. The best time to do things in secret is at night. So the moon became central to a lot. And even before that, the moon was very sacred to a lot of these groups. So nobody who's really a magic worker, who really has respect, will put a hex or even try to put a hex. Because somebody asked me, is it even possible? I don't even think it's possible, to be honest with you. And I've never seen in any ancient book or anything that was even possible. What do I think really happened? I think one or two things happened. I think either a group of baby witches really wanted some attention, some attention, some exposure, some people like to start rumors just because they like to sit back and laugh and see how far it gets. So I don't know if some baby witches just wanted some attention, which is more than likely. Or if somebody who has nothing to do with the community made up these lies for the same exact reason. Because remember, sometimes trolls make things up. They say that, Jackie Chan died. How many times have trolls killed Jackie Chan? They've killed Jackie Chan. They've killed Jaden Smith. They've killed all kinds of people, and then we Google it and they're not even dead. Some people do this kind of thing, and they might not be witches or have anything to do with paganism at all. So we have to remember that some people just like to start shit, and they just like to start rumors going because it entertains them. So don't take this seriously at all. If you were wondering about it, or if you heard about it, don't take it seriously at all. And then they're like, oh, some people died because the Fae or the moon killed them or something like that. Again, there's no evidence of that. There's no evidence of it even happening in the first place, of them even being able to do it. Because basically a hex or a curse or a spell is like a concentrated kind of prayer, and it rhymes, So let's say they did create a ritual, or they created a spell, which if they're baby witches, I don't even think they're going to be that skilled to even know how to do it. But let's say that they stumbled upon it and figured it out. Cursing the Fae or cursing the moon is not going to do much. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. If they did curse the Fae, 9 times out of 10, the Fae has their own energy, their own, like angels have their own energy. So it's not something that I really take seriously. The Fae likes to play tricks. So the Fae might play tricks on them if they did something like that seriously. But honestly, I doubt very seriously any of this even happened. I think some dude in a basement on his laptop made it up because he thought it was funny. And the rest of the internet ran with it and talked about it, and kind of like kicked it around for a week, and now everybody is like, oh, they died. And I'm like, really? They all did this and they all died? Really? So I just wanted to tell you guys that because I thought it was so stupid. I just thought it was so stupid, and I had to tell you guys that. So don't worry about, the moon falling out of the sky anytime soon, because this is a bunch of crap. Period, point blank. All right, so Jordan Oliver, my buddy Jordan, says another thing that will keep a person's vibration high is journaling. I love to write because you are displaying your thoughts on a sheet of paper, so you won't overthink. You can use it to heal yourself and manifest things you desire. Journaling is very powerful. Amazing content. Those are all great ideas. Journaling, Jordan is 100% correct, and I actually am going to do, towards the end of this day, I'm going to do a video about journaling, because he's right. It is very helpful, and it could be like number 11 on my list. It's extremely helpful for your vibration. Definitely. Good one. Very good point, Jordan. Shiva Norda, I think that's how you say it, says, only sign who can truly understand an Aquarius is another Aquarius. I hear that because I've come across people who understood me who weren't Aquarius. Maybe not understood me, but understand a moment, a moment of mine. But it wasn't until I started to hang around and do Ask an Aquarius and meet other Aquarius and go in Aquarius groups and talk with Aquarius that I really honestly started to feel like somebody really understood me. So I agree with this 100%. All right, guys, it's time to go. So please come back soon because I have a lot more to say. See you later.